We're set up. Okay, so this is my game from this week, and I think you guys are going to like this. This kind of sits in the idea of the tactical motif stuff that we were covering before. Again, welcome everybody. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys are watching this either live or if you're watching this back. This is going to be my annotation of my game with Thomas Simonis in our club. Round 2, I believe. Is that what round it is? Yeah, round 2. Let me see. Yes, round 2. This was played on the 8th. And this is a quick game, so that's why I kind of wanted to do these two streams together. And let's get started. So he is white, so let's flip the board. And he's an E4 player. Now, I should say before we start this game, he comes walking in, and I've seen him before, and I've talked to him a couple times at the club, but I've never played him before. And I knew nothing about how he played. I knew nothing about him, so I didn't even prepare for him whatsoever. I only worked on my calculation and my forcing chess moves that we worked on last week. So I only worked on that stuff that we covered in the video. Great. Okay. So I'm completely going into this particular game blind, which is fine. That a lot of the games you're going to play, it's going to be like that. So I said to myself, I'm only going to play the stuff that I know. I'm not going to prepare anything. I'm going to assume he's going to play white because the only piece of information I have is that he's a gambit player. Okay, well, if he's a gambit player, most likely he's going to play E4. So we're most likely going to get a French. That's exactly what we get. But we come rolling in, and he comes in, and I see him, and he says, "Hey, I'm Thomas. You must be Nick." Yeah, and I'm set up. I'm waiting for him. He takes his coat off, and he's got a shirt that says Gambits. So I was like, "Oh, well," and so I questioned him on it. And I go, "Oh, so you think you're gonna play a Gambit today?" And I think I immediately took the wind out of his sails because I think he knew that I knew that he played gambits, which kind of messed them all up from the start. So part of this game was this psychological thing, which I'm okay with. That's part of my favorite part of chess. So let's get into it. Let's get in. I just thought that was funny because he comes rolling in with a gambit shirt, and I'm thinking to myself, dude, you're not playing any gambits. I'm playing a French, man. You can trade off your center pawn if you want, and I'm happy with that. Let's do an exchange French. It's all good. So he plays his normal E4, which I was expecting, and I start with my 1E6, tried and true, no matter what. And he played this move, which is a weird second move. It's odd. It's not odd move order. Not what I'm used to seeing. So I should probably put this in here during game. Odd move order. Had not. I do not usually see this on move 2 in a French. And that's fine. I don't think this is the best move here is usually to go D4, but Frankie, my wife wants a picture of the birthday boy. My dog. Oh, here. Come here, Frankie. Hi, good boy. Let's take a picture. Hi. Hi. Frankie. Over there. Hey, hi. Frankie. Frankie. Good boy. Franklin. Frank. Did I get it? I don't know if I got a good picture of him. No, he's not looking. Shoot. Hi, Frank. Ah, there we go. So for those of you that like dogs, here's Frank. This is Frank. It's his birthday today. I think he's 4. 3 or 4. I think you're 4. I don't remember. But he's got his cute Valentine's Day coat on. And here's Baxter. Baxter's bigger. He'll be, yeah, he's going to be 5. There's Baxter. He is going to be 5 on the 4th of July. There we go. My wife has a picture of the birthday boy. Happy birthday, Frank. He's so cute. Face only a mother could love. All right. Back to the game. So yeah, this is totally a weird move order. Most people are going to play D4 and control the center. So a better move would be this, and let's put that in there. Okay, so he didn't play that. He wanted to play this. And here I thought to myself for a minute, should I play C5 to stop D4, or to, let him play D4 and then exchange and have it bring his queen out early? I really strongly considered playing a Sicilian here. And I'm not a Sicilian player. And I said, you know what? I can't do that because that would just not be smart. So it took me 4 minutes to play the first 4 moves, which is not typical for me because he played this goofy order. So usually I get about 10, 15 moves in. Maybe not 15, but close to 10 in 4 minutes. And I don't usually start marking my time until I'm 5 minutes into the game, roughly, or coming out of the opening. But I started marking time pretty quick in this game because I sat and thought for a good minute here, do I really want to play C5 or not? And I didn't play it. So the other move would be to play a Sicilian. So let's put this here. Oh, metals. That's interesting. Never did that before. So I consider playing a Sicilian here because it's probably better because he played this weird move order, right? But I decided against it, and I believe the weird move order is probably better. I'm not a Sicilian player, so I decided against it. I played D5. I played my normal move. Okay, so I played D5 and I said, you know what, if you want to exchange right away, I'm okay with that. Let's do it. And he played an exchange and then played D4. Okay, so we now reached a transposition. I should put in DG for during game. I've reached a transposition I'm familiar with. I've seen this in the exchange French. It usually occurs in a different move order, but this works too. So typically what happens is it's played with E4, E6, D4, D5, takes, knight C3 was the last move. Instead, he played it a little bit backwards, probably because he's trying to be tricky and trying to still get a gambit. But it doesn't work. You can't gambit the French players. and try, but it just doesn't work. And most of us we don't necessarily like being in the exchange French, but we're familiar enough with it to play it, and hopefully he learned his lesson by playing the exchange French against me, because you'll see this game was not so awesome for white. Okay, c6 is a pretty standard move here. I think there's other options. I don't necessarily like them, and if I check my opening book, I can't remember. I think c6 might be the only one I have in my opening book. I gotta look now. Some people will play knight to f6 on this move. Some people play bishop to f6 or bishop to d6. I don't really like many of those variations. He takes d. Let me just get to that point. Knight c3. Yeah, the only move that I have in my repertoire is c6 here. I know there's other ones. If I go out and check on Lichess, you know, now that I'm actually... Hang on. Full screen. You guys get to see what I'm looking at here. Let's do this. Come over here. Let's take a look at Lichess, because I really just don't know what the move is. Analysis board. Flip the board, and we're going to play this. This. He played this weird move order. And yeah, c6 is the most played move here. As you can see, there's not a lot. A lot of masters have not played this game. There's 118 games. You actually can't see it because my camera's in the way. Whoops, that's not what I want. Let me move it. You guys don't need to see that here. There we go. So it's been played 118 times according to Lichess in the Masters database. But yeah, the two moves, like I said, are yeah, bishop b4 is the other one, but c6 and f6 are the most played, and then followed by bishop b4. I only like playing bishop b4 if the pawn center is locked to get into a Terrace, and even then I'm not sure I want to play the Terrace all that much anymore. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm unclear on a lot of that, but totally just a weird oh, not chessable. Sorry about that. Chess base. Just a weird move order. So I played c6 because it's the most solid to me. So let's put that out there. So here, DG. So I have played both of these other variations before, which is knight f6 and bishop b4, but I tend to get into positions I don't really like, so I figured this was going to be better. And if you have the choice between any move, play the one that's most solid for you. Unless you're an extremely attacking player, then play the most aggressive move. But to me, I want to play solid, and now his knight's kind of in a weird spot. And this is kind of like a Caro-Kann-esque structure a little bit. I mean, it's an exchange French, but I don't have my problems with my white bishop. I got this sucker has life, and he's made my life in the French super easy, which is great for me. So, which I like. Cancel. Okay, so actually we can get rid of that. We don't need that. He played knight f3, and Now he's opened up to himself to a bunch of pins. He hasn't developed his bishop yet, so I don't want to pin him yet. So I played this, and we're going to mark that. So the idea behind waiting before playing bishop to g4 for the pin is that he has the ability to get out of the pin by bishop to e2. And I want to be a little tricky with my move order, so I played bishop d6 instead. Because if he does develop his bishop out to, let's say, bishop to d3, then I can give him the pin, and if he wants to get unpinned, he has to either mess up his king side or lose a tempo, which is helpful for me. King side. So yeah, those were my ideas here. So I played bishop d6. It's a developing move. I don't really have to worry about much. I can see what he wants to do. So if he plays some weirdness with his bishop, I'm expecting he wants to get castled soon. So the whole idea is that if he brings his bishop out to e2 first, then I can just bring my bishop to here and gain a diagonal. If he brings it out to d3, then nope, cancel, oh my goodness. Then I can, there we go, then I can bring it out and pin his knight. So those were my ideas here with thinking like this. So I'm kind of giving him the option to choose what he wants to do. By being tricky enough with my move order, because I'm more comfortable with the French than most likely he is. Since he's a gambit player, I would expect him to see the French a lot, but who knows? Maybe he doesn't. I'm not quite sure. Okay, he plays bishop d3. So now I get my idea and pin the knight. So I expected one or the other, and I calculated what move is it? I calculated all the way to move 10. Or, well, yeah, move 10. If it didn't, so I calculated the next various moves all the way to here. If he chose to take, great. If not, I'm taking on the next move. If he's okay with this and decides to castle or develop his bishop, let's say, then I'm going to take, and I'm going to get rid of my light squared bishop, and I'm good. But instead he did this, and I get my open file. So what more could you ask for? Now he can't castle, like, ever. He's stuck. He can't castle. He has a permanent threat until he deals with it. Is there anything else that he could have potentially done here? Could have just left it and castled. I expected that to happen too, but I wasn't sure. I thought he might either play bishop to e3 or castles. So I guess we can probably put those in. New variation, back, and new variation, back. So let's take a look. So castles, and then I can kind of continue on with my plan, which is fine. And then I can get castled on the next move. I didn't really evaluate these all that much during the game because he played h3 really fast. Yeah, he played it like in 2 minutes. Like, he didn't really spend a lot of time on it at all. So that's one way. Let's click on that way. I still can do the same thing. I felt like I'm already equal here. Knight d7, knight f6. Okay, and then this one, I guess we can come to here and then castle. And, you know, I saw this, but still felt okay, there's that. So I felt, you know, any one of these lines that I get in the exchange French, I feel is pretty equal. Even though I'm maybe down in development, I'm not far behind, and I'm okay. I also have this idea. I mean, it's long, but he's not really pressing me at all. So, but he played this instead, and we went through the next sequence. And here I feel like now I'm actually slightly better. And now I have a permanent threat on h3. Halting, castling. Okay. And I feel like black is slightly better. It's not even move 10, and I feel like I'm already doing super well, which is great. Whoops, let's put that back. Normal developing move. He can't really bring it anywhere else. This is really kind of his only move. I don't know what else he could have done here. I saw him making this move. I guess he could have... The only other move that I thought I saw that he would do is this, but that was easily met here. And then he would come back, maybe trying to mess up my king side, I guess, but I still think... I still think this is good for me. I still think I'm slightly better. I know I'm not castled, but he's not either. And I can easily move to the king side or queen side either way. I guess I could put those in there. So it's still open. He didn't make that. So he came here. And I'm creating threats with that move. This might have been a mistake, but I'm not sure if it's a mistake or not. But so I saw this coming after the pawn. I thought this was a good threat. Let me put my notes in there first. It develops a piece and it gives a threat. I can come take b2. But I thought I'd have to maybe possibly get kicked if he played knight to h5 or a4, but it doesn't really matter. I can, because I thought after I made this move was premature because of knight a5, 8-4. So this is the sequence I saw. Boom, new variation. Boom, boom. And now I'm kind of in trouble here. His knight's protected by the queen. B2 is protected by the knight. And I felt like this is probably in maybe not white's favor, but it might be a little bit slightly better for white, because now I kind of lost all of my gain. Everything that I gained was now lost. All that work I did went out the door. Maybe not. I'm not sure. All right. Very good. But that didn't happen. He played queen to e2 instead, which I thought was a really good try. Yeah, I mean, he's got this discovery now. If he moves this bishop, you know, bad news, bad news. So I saw these things and thought, well, okay, let's develop a piece and then move along, which makes a lot of sense. So I did that, and now the discovery ideas are gone, and he makes this, and this is absolute blunder. Control, shoot. Sorry. I do this every time. I press the wrong button. All right. So it's shift, and this was a blunder. I didn't really mark any other moves with any type of evaluation on them, but this is absolutely a blunder, and I capitalized on it for sure. But since we're here, let's take a look at what he probably should have done. What I expected him to do was castle. So I totally expected him to castle here. And now it's a game, you know, we're gonna have a game. I gotta do some, you know, it's tough. I have to come up with some sort of plan. I'm still not completely developed. It's still unclear here. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm better, maybe I'm not. I'm not quite sure. But I felt like I got rid of my bad bishop, and he stuck with his. And I'm doing fine. I got pretty much everything I wanted out of the French, out of the opening, and I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot here. It's probably unclear, still a game either way. But I've taken away a lot of his squares. He doesn't have a lot to work with. Okay, so he played here, and I don't know if I can really mark this. This is definitely a good move. I don't know. Black is winning. Actually, black is, well, now black is winning. So I'm going to say this is a good move because I found it. You have to see this move. And he blocks, I take, and we win a piece. And he had a good try here. And it's going to get difficult for him quickly. I thought that maybe he was going to bring the knight back. I saw this as a move. And he can get the pawn later. Rook handler, what's going on? Welcome. And I thought, okay, well, he can do that, and I'm fine. And then I'll just play b6, and we're okay. And black is still winning, and now I just have to hold my advantage and win the game. He didn't play that way, so he attacked the queen right away. Actually, did I mark that variation? Yeah, I did. And I took the pawn. Now I'm creating another threat. He takes, which is pretty logical. And here I thought, well, I'm up a piece. All right, let's put this in here. I'm up a piece, so let's offer trades. Let's trade down. You're up. Trade pieces. When you're up, trade down. And he didn't want to do that. Smart of him, so I should put that in there. So here I did not expect this. This was also a blunder. We can mark that as a blunder too. Actually here, and that's another blunder. But what I thought he would do here is castle, new variation, and then do this, and just try to consolidate. But actually, that doesn't make sense either. That doesn't work. I saw this, but I didn't calculate it very far because I didn't think it was very good for him. So, so he saw this. He didn't do that. The other thing that I thought he would do is just bring his rook back and get it out of danger. But he didn't do that. He did this instead, losing the rook. So I don't know that I can mark this as a good move either, but I capitalized on him making the mistake, so I have to mark it as good. And I guess we can mark that as black is completely winning. And trapping his rook. So the idea was to come here. Whoops, cancel. No, that is not a move we want. Delete variation. Okay. I want to come here with my knight. And I'm blocking in his rook. Okay, so let's mark this. D4 square is blocked by the knight now. Thought this was a clever prepare knight c4 check. And from here it goes pretty bad. I get my knight in, he moves king to e2, and we take and take. This was a good move. Actually, this was also a blunder, so we should mark that as a blunder. And because of that move, pinning the knight, and that was another blunder because of this move, which is also a good move. And I'm gonna say that's not a double exclamation, that's a double exclamation. I don't usually give myself moves like that often. This was a good move. Because when he moved, I thought, well, okay, you can just take the knight. But then I said, okay, well, let's close the door on the game. And after this, he resigned. So every time. I gotta figure out what that key sequence is and disable it. He actually tried to move. He actually tried to move his rook here, which was an illegal move. He tried right here to take my pawn with his rook, and I said you can't do that. We both had 40-some minutes on the clock, I think, at the end, so I wasn't gonna call him out for that. Like call the tournament director or anything. If it was time control and we were close to pressure, I would most certainly call the tournament director. But no, this was pretty much it. Yeah, kind of a crazy game. Not exactly sure if there was much I could have improved on. This was the only move I thought was really questionable, but I feel like it's creating a threat, and he has to solve this problem. Knight to a4. I don't. Maybe I'm a little too critical of myself here. This is just what I thought during the game, annotation-wise. I mean, I don't think there was really any advantage lost or anything like that. I think black might still have a slight advantage here. So let's remark that. So yeah, an interesting game. The two, yeah, I mean this move was questionable, I think, and then his move order choice was weird, which I thought was odd. You know, I'd never seen this. I'd never seen that move played on move 2 when someone plays e4 to e6. I don't know, maybe you guys have seen that. I just haven't seen it. I I guess I can understand it if they are kind of a Vienna type of player. Come to think of it, I've probably played this move order before. When I was switching openings and trying to find what I'm supposed to play with white, because I was still under the impression I'm an attacking player, so I was trying to come up with the most aggressive openings, but I'm not an attacking player. Though this game shows differently, but really interesting. For sure. But yeah, other than that, I feel like I played it pretty well. I was tricky with my move orders. I got everything I wanted out of the opening. I even tweeted about this particular position because I was so happy that I got to trade off my light squared bishop and get a constant threat out of it even. I mean, I don't think you could ask for anything better. Really. This is awesome right here. Like this is like a dream position as a French player. Yeah, they do not. Most French do not play this smoothly. So I should probably put that in my notes too. So yeah, I saw his threat. I really was able to stop it. Um, I was, throughout the game, I don't really know where I was seeing it, but I saw it most of the game where he always had this knight coming here, and for a lot of the game, and he never ever made the move. I calculated a lot of things with it, but he never made the move, and I think I don't know if he ever saw that move. We didn't get to do a post-mortem. He wasn't really interested. I think he was embarrassed about making the illegal move. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. He didn't really want to talk much about it. He said a couple of comments, but that was about it. But yeah, I mean, at any point from like this point on, he had knight to e5, and he never ever made that move. And I always had to look at it. I had to keep a constant eye on it for most of the game. And maybe he just expected I would take it with my bishop, but I don't know. I don't know if he ever really had much of a chance to ever kind of come in there. Especially not after I made bishop to d7, he certainly couldn't, but this was kind of a mistake. Moving anything and relieving the discovery on the rook kind of messed him up. Oh, I suppose you guys can't see what I see. Best bookline, there you go. Now you can see my notes. Okay. Yeah, and I always had to worry about him trying to take on a2, but he never had a chance, or at least I didn't give him a chance. These two moves are pretty devastating. I guess the only thing that he could have done is this new variation. I saw him taking here, which is exactly what I thought he would do. And I didn't calculate very much here. I just thought, well, if I come here, he's got to deal with something and push back. And I think I'm fine. Still a game, but I didn't really calculate much after seeing this, because I'm going to move his king around. I can win his pawns. I can get the rook out. I thought here even, if he does get out of this somehow, I still always have castling as well. So I saw these things briefly in the game, but I didn't put much thought to them because he took with the king like really fast. He didn't really calculate much. Yeah, knight takes e3. I thought for a minute. Like, to me, I'm at the point where I'm just like, well, I'm ahead. I'm just gonna trade down. So I'm not doing a lot of calculation because I'm just making sure I'm not gonna get smacked by something. So I spent at least a minute, but not much. And then he spent less than a minute playing king takes e3. So and then I didn't he made it really easy for me. I didn't really have to think much after this, but this would have certainly delayed the game, but yeah, it's still, I mean, this is still winning for black, but a pretty quick win. I only used about an hour of my time, so I thought for about 2 hours because he didn't use as much time as me. But yeah, this was pretty good. So, all right. For those of you that are here, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. We are at the 2 hour mark, so this was good. I will be posting these out on YouTube if you came late and you want to see them back later. So thanks for the follows, and thanks for watching. I do appreciate it, and I hope you guys all have a fantastic day. We should probably try to go, guess it doesn't matter, but all right, have a good day everybody, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching.